Alright, this is a John Deere P10 cart for their riding mowers, and I'm just quickly going to show you how I built the expanded sidewalls here and just get out a tape measure and measure dimensions real quick in case you want to build this yourself. So the lumber is, depending on how high you want the sides, this is just, I believe, 1x12 or maybe 1x10, and then these are 1x3s here for the vertical posts. And then I can't remember if I cut these to length or if it was just a 4-foot piece. Yep, so a little short, cut those to 46 inches, although if you don't mind them hanging off the back a bit, you could just leave them at 48. And then depending, I get this stuff out of the way, on how you want this corner to be, again, you could shorten that if you want the front piece to be the wider one. I have the front piece in between the two sides. So the front piece is 30 inches. Again, that makes it fit nicely between the two sides. So those are your three main pieces for the sides, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 6, 8 of these vertical 1x3s. And I also bought some angle brackets to kind of screw the corners together to give a little more strength. The tricky part was that I couldn't find, or actually I didn't really look, I just kind of figured it out, the dimensions of these slots in the cart itself to stick the posts into. So I am going to pull these out and measure that so you can have the dimensions, because I kind of had to just figure it out with a jigsaw by trial and error. So looking at the dimensions for what actually fits into these slots on the side of the cart, which again you can't really see here, but kind of have this weird size and taper to them. Again, this vertical piece is a 1x3, which is actually 2.5, and then it looks like the part that fit down into the cart is just under 3 inches. Again, this isn't going to be a perfect measurement, but you can kind of hopefully help get you started. That's like a 1/16 or an 1/8 under 3 inches. I cut in, looks like about a 1/2 inch. And then what you notice is that I didn't keep this side vertical either. I remember having to kind of sand down that side because that also had a slight taper, and it looks like I also sanded this side down as well. So the gap at the bottom here, that is about 1 7/8, just under 2 inches wide. But you can see up here at the top, that tapers down to about 1 3/4. So again, I guess I'll recap that there real quick. Start with a 1x3, 2.5 inches wide, cut in 1/2 inch on one side, about just under 3 inches from the top, and then shave down both sides of that to taper so the top is 1 3/4 wide. Not the end of the world if you go too small. I just wanted this really snug so it would sit in there without wobbling too much. If you go too small, it might wobble a little bit, and if you go too big, just use a chisel or some sandpaper or something to kind of keep sanding it down. Make sure all of the posts fit individually, and then you can either kind of, you have to be careful, I guess, I don't remember how I did this, but if you screw them onto the sides first and don't have them aligned, then when you go to try and put everything into the cart, it's not going to fit. So I think the way I did this was actually put all the posts in first, then line the sides up and screw them on. If you have your own plans or a better suggestion or your own way of doing this, as always, go ahead and leave a comment below the video. Thank you.